You know what's funny about having a platform like this, and it's weird. It's kind of it's it's bittersweet. Such a cool chord change. It's weird because like you're expected to come in here every single week and deliver every single week, and that's what I'm here to do at the end of the day. I'm here to come in here and every single week and deliver. But one of the problems that I find myself having with this platform so far, with my many podcasts and many ventures that I've had, is really coming out and really being vulnerable with an audience that I have no idea who might or who might not be listening to. You know, I don't know what information is okay for me to say, but I'm trying to move to a space where like I'd be okay to say any information. You know, like I want to be at a point with this podcast to where like I could just come in here and say anything that I want to fucking say, and not be scared of the consequences or the you know what awaits me when this is released and people hear this. Now, and maybe that's a fear thing, and maybe that's a more so personal valuing privacy kind of thing. Though the line is blurred in 2021, I'll tell you that much. Not much in 2021. You don't have much privacy. You know what I mean? But yeah, so like currently, you know, guys going through girl trouble is funny because we're not allowed to express emotions, you know, or it's frowned upon when we do express emotions in the sense that when we do express emotion toward it, it's not supposed to be negative. We're supposed to be the ones shitting on them, you know. We're supposed to be the one emotionally destroying them, right? It's not supposed to be the other way around. Women are not supposed to be able to emotionally destroy men. Lo and behold, so many of us find ourselves in that position. It's weird. Emotionally destroyed. Look at me being all fucking dark and morbid so early on in the podcast. Look, I promise I'm gonna get to the shit that I'm gonna talk about this podcast, and I do have topics here lined up to talk about. Namely, they revolve a lot around politics. So if you're not a big politic guy, I suggest you leave, or skip to whatever the fuck you want to watch. One of the things that I also wanted to start to do is actually write down the timestamps for when I start talking about these things, so like people can know when, you know, where to skip and whatnot. But anyway, what was I talking about? I was talking about women emotionally destroying men. Listen, so many men villain stories are created off the premise of a girl hurting them, you know. And it's amazing because as men, we would never admit that a girl would emotionally destroy us, or not. Let me stop saying emotionally destroy. Emotionally hurt us, right? Or that we would admit that we care more about them than they do about us. But you know, who do we like as men? And I'll say as men, who do we go to when we're feeling emotionally or romantic anguish? Like, where do we turn? Who do we look to? Is that why we have side hoes? Was my mistake in having a relationship not having side hoes? How is that a mistake though? It's like it goes back to the whole loyalty and morality thing, you know? It's like how do I manage my morals in a way to where I can have backups in case that this one doesn't work? You know, and maybe these are things that I will learn with time, but like, maybe I was too loyal. Maybe putting your eggs all in one basket isn't the thing that you're supposed to do. Who knows? I'm a 19-year-old kid learning the world, and you know, many would say that this was my first real relationship that I got into, and that I'm currently experiencing turmoil with. And I can't believe that I'm actually sharing this shit, but like, man, You women are fucking devils. You're so complicated for no reason. Leave me alone. I want to just shelter up and like not see your face anymore, women. Jesus. All right, that's my little mini rant on relationships and whatever. But I'm sure there's a minute in there where I can pull for my Instagram page or my fucking wherever. But anyway, let me introduce this show to anyone who may be listening. Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and anyone in between. Welcome to the Unspoken Mind podcast, episode number 5. Is this number 5? I think this is number 5. Episode number 5. I'm your host, Isaias Hernandez, and to be honest, I'm here for one reason and one reason only: to give you motherfuckers a good ass time. On today's podcast, I'm gonna be referencing back a lot to my emotional trauma, as well as talking about the whites storming the Capitol, the after effects of the whites storming the Capitol, the impeachment of Trump, or the attempted impeachment of Trump, the Eagles in the tales that never seems to fucking end with this fucking city of poverty franchise. The Eagles have fired Doug Peterson. I'll get into that a little bit later. New music. There hasn't been much music that has caught my radar except for one album in particular that I wanted to talk about. And yeah, that's about it. So let's get right into it. Alright, so I want to start with the whites storming the Capitol. Now, if you don't know, if you've been living under a fucking rock for the past week and a half, white people were upset that Trump lost an election by very fair standards, and they went and they threw an uproar and they tried to overthrow the Capitol. All of that lasted for a couple of hours, and then they were essentially kicked out again. You know, the one thing that I will say about this whole storming the Capitol thing is the fact that it's being compared to the Black Lives Matter movements that have been happening over the past 6 months would be generous, but over the past 4 to 5 years, and even that's super generous, I would say 6 to 7 years. It keeps being compared to these because there was violence used, but like what you don't understand is like white people, the country's history. The history of your country wasn't built on the backs of you and then give you the middle finger and stuck you to the bottom of the food chain. That would be black people. That's why there's riots and quote unquote riots. Fam. I even hate that I have to compare these two because they're really like nothing alike at all in any way, shape, or form. Because one of them is a temper tantrum, and the other one is fighting for the rights of many others. Fam, like, what caused this riot, the storming of the Capitol, was literally the voice of people in power, who called upon their fans. You're not followers. You're not supporters. You're fans at this point. It's like a hive. It's like Beyonce's hive, or Eminem stans. You know, you're not thinking logically when it comes to these people. You just have a never-ending love and attachment to the person that has given you a voice, and you feel so attached to that you don't want to let go of. And that's why, really, at the end of the day, American politics is a joke, because I can say on both sides, we grow we grow fandom toward the people who we are supposed to be ever more objectively critical toward, you know. But I'm that's a tangent. The pressing issue here is the idea of Trump, and not just Trump's guys that have supported him, people who organized this, which were a couple governors from a couple of various states, who are being charged, by the way, with inciting riots. These people are to hold accountable, you know, for for being the voice to so much. It's for being the voice of ignorance. To be frank, and to not put it any other way, because there's no other way that you can put it. You can't make reason out of this. I mean, you can try to make reason out of it, and the way that people have been trying to make reason out of this is the idea of people saying that this was a flex of your First Amendment right to free speech. Let me just tell you something. If this is okay to y'all, if this is an acceptable form of your use of First Amendment rights, I don't want to hear no shit about no Black Lives Matter. Because essentially what it boils down to is just you showing your true colors when you criticize a movement like the Black Lives Matter movement. Because, and all in all, what you're saying is that you don't want black people to have rights. Fam. And I apologize if I'm not expressing my sentiments the way that I would like to express my sentiments. I've been going through my own shit over this past week, and it's really drained the energy out of me. I would be a lot more hyper and a lot more expressive and a lot more. I would be articulating my points very well here, but I've been having these conversations for a little over a week now, and it gets tiresome. It gets demoralizing to see what is happening on in the world. It's like you look around and you see the fucking world is burning, and you're like, what the hell can I do to fix it? And nothing, because why the world is burning is the ignorance of many. The ignorance of not being able to process information that doesn't suit your narrative, I can't fix that. It's not a problem that can be fixed. It's a problem that can be untaught. If your racism and your ignorance allows you to storm the Capitol, me getting on a podcast and talking isn't going to fix the problem, sadly, unfortunately. As much as I would like to believe that it would, it's not going to. Especially if you have these ideas already instilled in you. My voice is only going to sound like I'm against you. And trust me, I am against you. But that doesn't mean I don't want to help you. I don't want to brighten your fucking day. Or I don't want to... No, not brighten your day. I don't want to allow you to see the light to your ignorance. I don't know. When you're talking about the Black Lives Matter protests and the fucking... the quote-unquote riots that were happening there, your people haven't been oppressed for hundreds of years, Segregation was like 50 years ago, dog. Like, it wasn't that long ago. Like, grandparents, like, if you ask your grandparents, I'm sure they remember this. Like, a lot of grandparents still hold the ideas that they had back then. Because what's the old saying? You can't teach an old dog new tricks. What they believe is what they believe, and these ideas are passed down from generation to generation. But one thing that I will say about the generation of the Trumpies and the right-wing ideas is that I see they're slowly dissipating, though they still are a very large majority of America. Like, as people get more educated, I see these ideas disappear, hopefully, and that's what I hope to see happen maybe one day. Maybe not in my lifetime, but in the future, where these ideas will one day completely disappear, because with a simple education and simple a simple knowledge for what's happening, these ideas will completely evaporate. The illogical arguments for what the right wing stands for, or for what the right wing represents, they don't stand on the basis of fact. They stand more so on the basis of emotion. And historical context has proven y'all wrong time and time again. Like, if you want If you want an accurate picture of the world and what we live in today, just look at the people who run this country. A lot of them are still white. A lot of the heads of companies and the boardrooms and the way this country is run, a lot of the people are white. And that's because we haven't ever been in a position to where people of color would hold these positions of power. Ever in the history of this country. There's never been a point where a black person there's been an all black, board of a company, of a Fortune 500 company. Now, let me tell you, for hundreds and hundreds of years, Fortune 500 companies have been nearly all white. And I'm not just talking about one individual company. I'm talking about all of them, The heads of all these companies, they've been white. We're now pushing toward a society where not just there's going to be black millionaires or people of color millionaires, right? We're pushing toward a society to where this money also means power toward the people who've never had power before, and it's exciting to imagine a future where we look around and we see a diverse head or a diverse sense of leadership, unlike we've never seen before. And hopefully one day there will be a Fortune 500 company that is all like minority driven, that has no influence of the people who have poisoned this country for generations upon generations. But I digress. That all came from the topic of whites storming the Capitol. And not all white people are bad. Please don't misconstrue what I'm saying here. Not all white people are bad. Only some of you are. And you know who you are, the bad ones. I don't need to go out and say names. But anyway, let me get off another tangent of this fucking political bullshit that I'm talking about. What this has struck up in his last couple of weeks in office is the idea of Trump getting impeached. Fam, let me tell y'all something. If y'all wanted to impeach this man, y'all should have tried to do this. And y'all did try to do this a while ago, but it just never worked out. Y'all can't. It's not gonna happen. It's wishful thinking. But the idea of impeaching Trump a couple of weeks before he's actually out of office, it's a reach. And if you know anything about the history of this country, you know something like that. You know justice isn't gonna be served in this fucking godforsaken country. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. It's just wishful thinking. It's just news headlines to keep people distracted and keep feeding people what they want to hear. That goes for the left too. Don't give your people false hope. Don't give your people a sense of hope or a sense of unrealistic expectations that you think might happen, and it's just not. It's not realistic. Yeah. With that being said, one of the things that I've really, really enjoyed off like social medias and shit, off this past, of everything that's happened, is like white people being held up at, not being able to fly places. It's funny. It's like, finally, you're getting held accountable for your actions. You haven't been being held accountable for your actions and your words and your malice and your actions for a while, or ever, if you're white in this country. Let me stop. I am dark today, okay? I don't want to be morbid, but it's just my mood. It's fun to see. It's fun to see people trying to argue this. Like, what? Me? You're gonna detain me? I didn't even do anything. I was expressing my right to protest. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You're vandalizing public property or state property. And by the way, let me just say, you accomplished absolutely nothing in your efforts to protest. But that's neither here nor there. And that's not even the point of the protest. The point of the protest is you want to be like the people who you see on TV. But that's a whole separate point on another time. But yeah, man, I'm sorry if this episode is really, really, really short, or really, 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 really uncohesive, or really, 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 really overall out of energy. I don't know. I haven't been the best, and I hate to keep harping on that point, but it's kind of the truth, you know. Uh, it hurts when like the you think that the people, like, you care about someone, right? And they just go and show you that you don't care. They don't care about you as much as you care about them. And that's I'm speaking more than relationship wise here. I'm talking about friendships too. Or it could be like family shit too. Just in general, like with other people, like it's kind of like demoralizing. It's like, wow. Um, how much more times can I keep giving myself to people or to everyone without getting anything in return, or without receiving that when I need it, like I'm the type of person, and I'm talking about me here. It's like when someone needs me, I'll be there, 10 times out of 10. That's just how I was raised, to a fault, basically, where like, I'm helping. I'm always helping. I grew up in a family of 9. Helping is in my DNA. It's like I see my siblings and my the people around me struggling. At first you're told to help, but then it just becomes second nature to help, and you begin to carry these ideas outside of you, into the real world, into these other relationships, and into these other friendships that you have around you, where you believe that your relationship is predicated on the true feeling, and when these people need you, you're expected to be there, because that's kind of how relationships work, And I'm not gonna sit here and tell a lie. In the relationships that I've been in, I've been needed. These people have come up to me and flat out have said, "Yo, I need you. I need you to be in my life right now at this moment. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. I need your support. I need your voice. I need your guidance. I need your comfort. I need you. Be here with me in this moment of my demise or my fucking low points." And me being me, I'm gonna be there for you, because that's just who I am. I've always been that way. Never want. I won't. I'm not gonna turn my back on you. That's just not in my DNA. I can't do that to someone that I have, someone that I care about. Someone that I feel something for. It's the human in me. I can't fucking turn my back on you. What the fuck? Are you stupid? Are you stupid? I can't do that. Not someone I care about. No. But like, then it's like, ugh, because then like, I need you too, and maybe not in the moment that you might need me, or maybe I might not even express to you that I need you, though I do, right? But then I'll have those points too, where I have to come up to you, and as the strong friend who constantly provides support to those around him, I don't really have anyone that I checks up on me, or I don't have anyone that fucking I can rely on to for the way that people, I would hope that people rely on me, you know? I don't, when I ask this person that I care about, and this person that means a lot to me, I was like, hey, I didn't flat out say it, but I made it clear. I need you. I need you right now. I need you for I need you, and I need no one else but you. I need to know that I rely on someone. And I need someone that knows me. I need someone that can show me the care and the love that I need right now through a tough time that I'm going through. Or through you know I need you. I need your care and support. And to turn your back on me in the moment where you know in my moment of necessity. Not it just feels different when you've been there for the person. It hurts. That's kind of what I've been going through. In more than one occasion, by the way. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Listen, next week, I promise I'll be a lot more fucking hype and energetic. And the video would be a lot more longer than 30 minutes. But I'm trying to stretch it out 30 minutes here. Yeah. Sometimes I just sit here and I'm like, am I just talking to myself? Or is there someone out there that really listens intently to my words? Someone who looks at me through the camera screen every single week and says, "I feel that." I want to talk about the Eagles too. Before I head out. So last week I was ripping the ownership and the Eagles for retaining Doug Peterson. Not retaining Doug Peterson, but potentially having him back as both a head coach and a play caller. And really, what I was getting at was that, hey, maybe we keep him as a head coach because he hasn't been a bad head coach. He's just been a fucking awful play caller and offensive mind. And, earlier last week, reports were released that, we fired him. And I was like, what the fuck? We got rid of him? We actually went through with the firing? That's crazy. I didn't think that we were going to fire him. But the Eagles ended up parting ways with Doug Peterson. And now there is a vacant head coaching spot. And there's been a whole bunch of fucking bullshit that has come with this firing, and I don't even know where to really what to talk about or where to begin with this. But the main thing to really think about here is that we're gonna go into rebuild mode again, at least for this next coming season that's on the way. And that all depends on how good the hiring of our new head coach will be. We have a quarterback kind of controversy that is now going to be solved with a fresh set of eyes. And we have a really bad roster built by a GM that still has a job, which is kind of crazy because if I'm being completely honest, I thought Howie Roseman would get fired before Doug Peterson. But, to each their own. And yeah, I don't have much to say here. If you haven't picked up, I don't have much to say on the Eagles situation with Doug Peterson. It's just been a fucking mess, And the one thing that's been crystal clear to me as a fan of the organization and the fucking as a fan of the game and as a fan of the Eagles is you let us down again. I don't know, and that remains to be seen. I don't know whether it be Jeffrey Lurie or Doug Peterson. One of them let us down again, and all in all, it would have to go back to the owner, Jeffrey Lurie. Uh, and time will tell on this one, right? Because he had one bad season of really, really not success, and he got fired for it. And there's been, like I said, a whole bunch of speculation and shit, and with fractured relationships in the locker room, and head coaching or coaching decisions, and personnel decisions. There's been a whole bunch of bullshit that's surrounding the name of Doug Peterson right now in the city of Philadelphia. What I'm saying is, I want to give this a little bit of time before I make any hard count decisions or judgments. I want to see who the Eagles bring in, and I want to see how Doug Peterson does in the league, because I don't think he's gonna remain as jobless for much longer here. I think someone will pick him up fairly quickly, whether it be as a head coach or whether it be as a coordinator. I think he'll get picked up fairly quickly. Yeah, I want to see how both parties do now that there's a separation of powers, so to speak. Yeah, I think that's cool. Yeah. I think that's it. I'm just not in the mood to pod today. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I think I'll end the episode here. I just wanted to get it to 30 minutes, if I'm being completely honest. I'll see you guys next week, I promise. I was not even thinking about releasing an episode today. But I ended up doing it just because I feel like I have an obligation to you guys as the viewers. Thank you guys for listening this far in. If you have, thank you guys for your support, your likes, your comments, your subscriptions. Thank you guys for everything that you guys had provide me with on a weekly basis. Thank you guys for sticking with me in such a turbulent time. Thank you. With that being said, I'll head out. I'll be back here next week, I promise. And yeah, bye.